So Denver, we had an attack on the male osprey by the great horned owl for 3 nights in a row. Last night, which was Sunday, there was no attack. The female was on the perch as opposed to the male. And so just kind of talk about what you think might be going on here.
Well, all right, so what's going on with all these attacks? Great horned owls are having a good year, it seems like. They've infiltrated the great gray nest, and now one of the male or the female, I suspect the male has been hitting the male osprey in the evening, as most of you have seen. So, hard to say what's going on, you know. The great horned owls have been nesting at that site since 1986. So there's various areas within that site. You know, this year the nest just happens to be a little closer to the osprey, but last year, you know, it was only 100 yards further. So hard to say why they're so aggressive this year. Is it the same male? You know, last year we saw one attack. This year we've seen, what, 3 nights in a row, I believe. In years past we haven't seen it. Now that osprey nest has been there since 2000, and it's on private property. The landowner put it up because he liked osprey. He just likes wildlife in general. So during the course of the years from 2000 to present, osprey have used it, Canada geese have used the nest, and great horned owls have used that nest. So it's been there a long time, and you know, the two species have been very close as far as their association for many, many years. I don't know really the answer this year why the horned owl is so aggressive, and we don't even know it's the same horned owl has been there for years. I don't know.
Do you feel like it's unusual for osprey and great horned owl to nest this close to each other?
Is it unusual for them to nest this close? You know, again, it's hard to say because there are, you know, so many platforms that are put up, and these platforms that are put up for osprey, which, you know, at some point in time had good intentions in management, mitigation, and conservation, you know, issues. It doesn't seem like it's, you know, unusual to be this close together, given the situation with all these platforms that are put up. But also, too, even if you were natural along a riverway, ospreys that build their own nests in, you know, dead trees along a river, for example, are still often close to great horned owl nests. So it's something that's probably just always been that way.
Okay. You talked about the great horned owl nests in the Mission Valley, and some people have been talking about that we've counted 40 nests so far. Do you feel like this is above average or pretty typical?
Oh yeah, the number of nests for great horned owls, you know, it's really hard to say. Over the years of doing our research, and we haven't really done research on great horns, but we've always noticed every year we easily, driving around doing work in other species, find 25 nests or so. And we've always figured, I wonder if we could find 40 or 50 nests if we put some effort into it. So this year we're putting some effort into it. We have a student working on that project, and I believe we're up to 47 nests right now, maybe getting close to 50. But that doesn't mean the great horned owls have increased. It's just that now we're putting a little effort in to try to document within our study site how many nests there might be, or close to how many nests there might be.
So last night there was no attack, and it was the female that was out on the perch as opposed to the male. So do you think that could have been a strategy on their part?
Yeah, no attack last night. Male didn't perch there, but female did. Well, at least the male maybe learned a lesson, I hope, you know. Maybe the female's, because she is larger, maybe the horned owl figures I'm not going to attack the female. I don't know that, you know. Who knows why? Maybe the rain affected it last night. It rained pretty steady during the night. It just remains to be seen. And again, what I think is so neat about this, and it's the same thing with the great grays, that the great grays, you know, weren't driven off by the horned owl. So it'll be interesting to see if the ospreys were able to, you know, raise young with the horned owl present, defend chicks if chicks, you know, if the ospreys have chicks. You know, by using these cameras, and particularly at night, you know, we've opened this world up for all of us to see. And these are things that may go on a little more commonly than we believe, and it's tough. I mean, I hate seeing it. I hated seeing that male get whacked in the back, see his feathers popping out. But it is part of the game, and let's just see how it works out.
So then we're not going to be taking any measures to try to prevent the attacks or to try to change the platform or anything like that that would make them not attack them.
No, we're not going to do anything, and that's our rule. We try not to interfere. I mean, a person could argue, well, you have an artificial nest site up there. That's true too. I mean, ospreys are capable of building their own nests, but This was put up long before us. As I said, in 2000, that platform in particular was put up, and they're around the whole valley here. So the ospreys have been in and out of there since 2000. The great horned owls have been nesting in this area since 1986. So there's been years and years of interactions that perhaps we've never even seen. And now with the advent of the cameras, we're able to see some of this stuff going on. So we're not going to interfere.
Yeah. And like we talked about earlier, part of the cool things about the cams is that we never know what's going to happen. It truly is nature. It's wild. We're not going to control it, but that does mean that sometimes things are hard to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And the cams aren't for everyone as a result.
Yeah, you're right. The cams aren't for everyone because you're going to see things that you don't expect. I mean, I guess you might say nature's what it is. It's life and death. It can be tough to watch, and it can be really intriguing to watch and emotional to watch. So yeah, that just happens, and again, we're not going to do anything about it. And I hate to see it. 2 years ago, I think it was, when that third osprey chick died in the nest, and the larger sibs were beating up on it. And everyone were concerned, and we were concerned, and we hated watching it. But it's not our job to really farm them and try to make more of them and save them. It's our job to monitor what goes on. But, an argument could be, well, why is the platform up there? Well, we didn't put it up there, and it is what it is, and we're just going to leave it alone. And ospreys have been nesting there long before the camera.
Yeah. So just one question that I have, given that the great horns do appear to be acting aggressively, could that have anything to do with the vole population here in the valley, and what do we know about that?
Yeah, could that have anything to do with food resources in the vole population, which is what they primarily eat, supplemented by, medium-sized birds such as coots and ducks and things of that sort, even gulls. It's really hard to say. I would say the vole population seemed pretty good through the winter, and as the snow has melted, it seemed to has died off a little bit. We'll have to see how many young the great horned owls are raising. In a good vole population, they can raise 3 to 4. Low to moderate vole population, they could raise 2, for example. So we'll have to see that. I don't know what the vole population is right now. We don't trap them anymore to try to get an index of the population fluctuation, so I can't answer that. A person could say, is there competition for food? Well, ospreys eat primarily fish, although they'll supplement with other things when the waters are murky. Great horns eat primarily small mammals in this area, as indicated by pellet analysis. So in that way, there might not be any competition, but it just might be, dogs hate cats, red-tailed hawks and eagles don't get along. Predators tend to defend and or chase off each other, sometimes preying upon each other. So it just may be some innate thing that's going on here that is just explained by that.
Yeah. And if the attacks continue, do you think they might drive the osprey off the nest?
Would they drive the osprey off the nest if the attacks continue? I suppose that's possible. I mean, we're going to find out here pretty quick. I think the ospreys will probably have to make some decisions coming up here. Is it worth staying here or not? Or maybe the horned owl. Maybe it's not worth it to the horned owl to keep whacking the osprey. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Size-wise, can you talk about the size difference between the osprey and the great horn?
The size difference. I think, I have to look, but I'm sure the osprey outweighs the great horned owl, especially a male great horned owl, which is smaller than a female. And then the male osprey, which is on average, I'd have to look. I haven't looked at that, but my guess is it probably outweighs the male great horned owl, and certainly the females of both do. So I just think you have the night. You're an owl, you have the night, something's sleeping. It's kind of like ambushing, and the owl clearly has the advantage. And I suppose if the owl was flushed by day and flew over there, that the osprey would chase it and attack it. And we do know, for example, prairie falcons and eagles and diurnal birds of prey, if research or for some reason a horned owl gets flushed by day, that those diurnal birds of prey attack and sometimes kill horned owls. So that's well documented as well. So it's just one of those things, for reasons I don't know, they probably just don't like each other.
Okay. Anything else to add?
Yeah, I hope that helps, and we'll continue to monitor. And yeah, as I said, we're not going to do anything about it, and I hate seeing it, and we all hate seeing it, but it just is what it is. So if you have questions, post them, and Lib and I and Matt will try to talk about them among ourselves, and if we have to get back on the air here and let you know what's going on, we will. We'll try to answer questions the best we can.
Yeah, and Poppy's really good about getting us questions if we don't get on the chats or don't see
and thank you. Thanks for your attentiveness. It's all good. It's all well-meaning, and we'll just do our best to answer the questions, but we won't interfere.